Greetings and welcome, friends. We were like translating verbal phrases, and we're going over the homework right now. Follow along. It says number 11, the quotient of 18 and a number A. So let's see. As I read this, I'll translate it. The quotient of, I immediately think of division like that, or I could write it as a fraction bar. Two ways I could write it. Of a number, of 18. That means 18 is the first thing that's going in. All right, it's either to the left of the division symbol or in the numerator. And a number A, that means 18 is being divided by A. So that's how you would interpret that. Let's see, the difference of. Difference means subtract, technically with parentheses, although I have a feeling we won't need parentheses here. The difference of 12, you're tracking this, right? Make sure you get all this down in case you got something wrong last night. Difference of 12, so the first number is 12, and a number X, so X is the second thing. The order matters for both division and subtraction, whereas addition and multiplication are said to be commutative. The order doesn't matter as much, but yeah, you would want to make sure that you get those orders right. So be cautious. Yeah, it ended up we didn't need parentheses, but if there were other operations taking place, then I would need to. All right, here's some good questions. 28. Let's see how I interpret this. The sum of, so that means plus within parentheses, of a number X and 4, all divided by, actually this is a helpful word right here. I technically didn't need this word because the sum already indicated to me that the addition was going to happen before the division. But it says all divided by, that's a way to make it extra explicit, divided by 3. And then they said we were going to evaluate when X was 5 and Y is 20. There is no Y here, so I'm going to plug in 5 there, and I will get 5 plus 4, all divided by 3. First operation, according to PEMDAS, is addition, because this is in the numerator. It's like a grouping symbol. It's like parenthesis. So that's going to be 9/3, which is trace. All right. Do you guys get 28? Any questions on that one? Nah? All right. Well, for this one, it said write the phrases and expression and then evaluate. So this batch was both. This batch was both. It says the quotient. Oh, so yeah, you should write it as an expression first before you plugged in 5 for X. I see what you're, yeah. So let's see, the quotient of, so that's division, 40. And the difference, okay, so now they're saying I'm dividing by two things being subtracted, and it's happening first, of a number Y and 16. All right, and we're going to evaluate when Y is equal to 20, so I'm going to do some substituting. Plug in 20 for Y, being very cautious. 40 divided by 20 minus 16. Order of operations, we'll do subtraction first here. 40 divided by 20 minus 16 is 4, and 40 divided by 4 is 10. 10. Right? Yeah. Okay. So we had to be able to interpret the English into the math and then plug in and evaluate. All right, last question I'm doing for us today is question 30. It says it costs $3 to bowl a game, I'm guessing bowling, and $2 for a shoe rental. Question, comment. 31. I read it wrong. Yeah, my bad. I make mistakes all the time. And man, fortunately I got my students to help me out. That's why we got friends. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, deceitful are the kisses of an enemy. Man, it's worth it. You guys telling me the truth. It means you care about me. Right? You care that I learn from my mistakes rather than just live a life making them repeatedly. I appreciate it. It says make a table. So for part A, I'll let's make some sort of a table. So it looks like the shoes are always going to be the same price, and then you might bowl a few games. So let's let B be the number of games that we bowl. or you could have used X or some other thing. Make a table for up to 5 games. You could bowl 0 games. That'd be weird to just like rent bowling shoes and then not go bowling. Like maybe you're just like, hey, I just wanted to borrow these shoes for a while. Thanks. And then we could have 1 game, 2 game, 3 games, 4 games, or 5 games. And we're going to end up having the output of this is going to be a cost, right? A table of the cost. So we could call this C, right? It could be measured in dollars or something like that, where this is the number of games I bowl. And let's see if we can interpret an equation. So it's going to be $2. Well, I'll write it this way. $3 to bowl a game. So for every game I bowl, I'm going to multiply by 3. Right? 0 games, you don't pay that $3. 1 game, you pay 3. 2 games, 3 times 2 is 6. Right? And then I add $2 for the shoe rental. But you don't have to keep paying the shoe rental price every time you go bowling the game, right? Just, you know, you get to show up, pay for the shoes once, and then bowl. This is how I bowl. So let's see. Let's do 3 times 0 plus 2. That's 0 plus 2, which is $2. So that's for the weird person who was like, showed up, came to your birthday party, wanted to bowl, rented bowling shoes, and then got scared, and they didn't know how to hold a bowling ball, and then they just ate pizza and like hid, but they had to still pay for their bowling shoes. Or maybe they just hung out in the arcade, you know, playing some classic arcade cabinets. Are those still a thing? Probably not. I don't know. 3 times 1 plus 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is $5. The price for bowling 1 game. 3 times 2 plus 2, 6 plus 2 is 8, right? And you can see we're making like a table here. 9 plus 2, that's $11 for 3 games of bowling. All right. 3 times 4 plus 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. And before I answer 5, I did want to point out, because it's $3 per game, once you found the first game, the other way you could have viewed this as just adding $3 per game from there. And notice, right, this is another way you could perceive of these problems. So using this pattern, what do you think would go here? Yeah, it looks like $17 for 5 games, right? And that's also what we would get if I did my little expression. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. And then it says, write an expression for the cost of G games. Oh, man, we used B instead of G. Brr, guys. I'll make that a G. So my cost for G games is going to be 3 times G plus 2. All right, 3 times G plus 2. And if you're really fancy, you could even say Y equals, or sorry, C. I'll use C. C equals, the cost is equal to the 3G plus 2. All right, but we'll get into like multiple variables later. Right now, you just would have had 3G plus 2. And then use your expression to find the cost of 8 games. So rather than using a table, I could just do, 3 times 8 plus 2. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26, and that's measured in American dollars, friends. How about that? All right, well, thanks for watching, Internet friends. I'll see you out there bowling.